Out, go live. That has been my motto. That has been my motto. And so long as YouTube rewards me with, what do you call it? Watch hours. And so long as that metric increases as it has been, I shall continue to do that. Yes, indeed. At some point, I would probably need to figure out, like, is there an optimal timing to do these streams? And then, like, I guess from there would be like scheduling the stream. But so far, I'm satisfied with doing what I'm doing. I'm satisfied doing what I'm doing. I was about to say I'm satisfied with doing what I'm doing. I think that's also valid. Yes, my hairline is cooked. Yes, it is cooked. But like this is the same hairline I've had since day one. But some people get hair transplants and get this hairline. So like I've never gotten transplants. So is it cooked? Oh, we have a liker. Hello, liker. How's it going? Say hello. We've got Devesto returning. Welcome back, Devesto. Oh, they've got to go. Devesto had to go. All good. All good, Devesto. What? I spent all this time trying to back up a video file to Google Photos and it didn't work. Try it again. That's annoying. Now opening Google Drive. Lil Thief, what's up with that accusation, Sir Wellington? I'll give you like 30 seconds to explain, or else you're getting a timeout. Because you just stole my heart. Oh, it's you got a timeout anyways. They were trying to give me a compliment, and then they got timed out. That's hilarious. What's up, Terminator? Well done, folks. Please give me a thumbs up on this stream. That was so funny. That was so. Terminator's like, no, only I can make Indian flirtatious dude to dude jokes. Oh, that's so funny. Like, you are a thief because you stole my heart. Well done, Terminator. That's so funny. Sir Wellington, how many? 24-hour timeouts harsh, Terminator. Oh, that should have been 10 seconds. You put them in timeout for a whole day. Okay, next time make that 10 seconds. Terminator, let's bring it down to seconds, not hours. Hello, Ice Mellow. How's it going? How are you? Welcome to the stream. Please subscribe. Please like all that good stuff, everyone. Why I don't have green eyes? Asks Reggio XW. Why don't you? What's going on? I don't have green eyes. What's a gorilla tag person? What does that mean? GTAG. What is that? Is that like a device or what's happening? I gotta upload a file. Oh, thank you, Ice Mellow. Appreciate it. Do the Indian accent and say a joke. I mean, well, I have actual stand-up comedy material where I strategically and carefully curate my implementation of my Indian accent. If I were to come up with a new one now, well, I think I did. Hello, Techie Crew. Lost the quarter zip. I think that was a hoodie I was wearing earlier. It's somewhere else now. But I've got a super cool Linkin Park hoodie. Check this out. Any Linkin Park fans on this stream? Any fellow Linkin Park fans, I should say. I got this. Peep the swag, y'all. I got this Linkin Park hoodie. What you mean? Oh, yes. I'm going to put this thing on. Someone went to the bathroom on themselves in the chat. That's unfortunate. Usually streamers get suggestive and take clothing off. I just put it on. How does that make you feel? No. Yo, peep the swag. Yo, I'm a big fan of the band Linkin Park. I'm gonna chomp the haters like I'm a shark. Uh, Call me Iron Man, Tony Stark. Bars, 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 bars. GTAG likes my hairstyle. Oh, thank you. Despite my cooked hairline, I do appreciate the compliment. Yeah, Linkin Park slaps. Do you have a favorite song or album? Either one works. What's up, Kajal? Kajal Queen. How are you? Edited is laughing. Um, do the one I timed out. Oh, I could just repeat that. It was like the one you timed out. It's like, so someone that got timed out was like in the chat. They said what they said. They're like, "Yo, you're the thief," and then then I started freaking out. I was like, "Well, what do you mean thief? What are you accusing me of?" And then they were like, "Because you stole my heart." And then Terminator gave them a timeout, a 24-hour timeout. Terminator essentially blocked them temporarily. Kind of. I mean, depending on how you view 24 hours. This is not a good hairstyle, but if you, I mean, it's not that bad, but I think it's okay. All right. Say, ooh, trust bro. Ooh, trust bro. What does that mean? Well, I technically just said it. By Teddy accent, says Captain Dhruv. Terminator Max has the same hoodie. Do you really? Yeah, I got this from, I think, Hot Topic, like online shopping. I think that's where I got it from. YouTube claims there's only one viewer. Now there's 6 viewers. I was about to say, there's way more than one viewer. What's up, Rohit? How's it going? Hybrid Theory, yes. Excellent album. My favorite album is Live in Texas. Live in Texas. That was my first Linkin Park album and my favorite because the way they mixed that live album was just, I mean, Hybrid Theory and Meteora, just top tier stuff. And then their live mixings and recordings and the energy of those shows they did in Texas, oh my gosh. Just, yeah. Indian Americans are the wealthiest Americans, I read. I mean, I believe it. I don't know for sure, Dan Breen, but I believe it. I don't know if that's supposed to be a roast edited, but YouTube held it for review. I think you could use some humbling edited. If anyone wants to give edited YT Q21 or 2L a timeout, feel free to do that. With message held for review. Okay, so you're kind of using it as a as an insult. Yeah, we have haters. I'm trying to keep up. There's a lot of Addison, how are you? You're a human from Mars? Okay, well that's cool. How are you doing? How's life? I gotta choose the file to upload. Huh. Okay, found the file and having it get to the drive. I might bring this setup upstairs. Dan Breen read that recently, and they're Irish. All good. Captain Dhruv, kya yaar londe Hindi nahi aati. I know Hindi, some of it, not all of it. Is it just me, or did... I'm trying to see who... There's a lot of moderation action going on here, but I think it's all favorable. Dhruv was born... Or I was born. The way it's written makes it seem. Yo, Lulu is back. Everyone say what up to the big boss, Lulu. She's the CEO of this live stream. All right, let me, I gotta, check on some things. Alrighty. Big Boss is also a popular TV show, like in the Bollywood community. My dad is a big fan of Big Boss. Okay, great. This is excellent. I can do my setup up here. Let We got the lights on. We got me on the live. I am on the East Coast. Dan Breen was born in Boston. Okay, that's cool. I have lots of friends in Boston. I'm based in the DMV. I perform comedy in Boston. Why is this so light? Now it's too dark. That's a little bit better. Terminator has a dare. Okay, go ahead, Terminator. Company commander is what Drew is. You're on, says Nata VR. Yeah, I'm on the stream. I mean, at YouTube Stabworthy says, why is Batman a billionaire? That's a long message. Mr. Carsim says, yo, how's it going, Mr. Carsim? I hope I'm not too late in that greeting. Cradle for stand-up in the late 80s. Oh, yeah? I did not know that. Have we met before, Dan Breen? Have we met before on the road in the comedy world? Are you a comedian? I actually technically lived in Boston for a couple of months, and I have to admit, I think I was unlucky. But when I had technically moved to Boston, the open mics, there were a handful of open mics that were like dying and closing. Those two mean the same thing. There were a lot of open mics that were just closing, and I couldn't take the stress of like holding down the day job I was in. I asked to work remote, and they did allow me to work remote, which was nice. But like, I was getting discouraged by more and more open mics closing down. I think I was unlucky. Just it's not because of me. They're like, "Hey, Mudit's coming to town. Let's close down the open mics." I don't think that's what happened. I think I was unlucky, or I don't know. The economy was getting tough for these open mics, and coincidentally, like week after week after week, more and more open mics were just closing down, and like I didn't have a car. It was just getting more and more unbearable very fast. I remember like throughout those weeks, I would take the Amtrak to NYC, especially on the Saturdays to perform in NYC, both open mics and shows. Hold on. Let's see what Dan Breen has to see. Bill Burr's hilarious. I remember him talking about the stand-up scene in the late 80s. Dorchester. Is that Massachusetts? Is that like Greater Boston? Or where is Dorchester? That's probably like somewhere in New England, right? Dan Breeze says, no, I wouldn't say so. I believe that's in response to, are you a comedian or are you a stand-up? Yeah. So Dan, like when I had moved to Boston, I was hoping that the open mic scene would be a little bit more prolific, and essentially open mics are like weekly, daily, nightly sign-up gigs where either new comedians can have their first start, or newer comedians, or like experienced seasoned stand-up comics like myself can experiment with new jokes. So in New York and Chicago and LA, you can do open mics, multiple of them every night. You're essentially doing quick, small stand-up sets in front of people to like grind. That's how you build. And I was hoping Boston would have a sizable or a comparable open mic scene, and unfortunately it was a bit light. So like Boston these days, in my opinion, if you're locally based there, I mean, you would probably be, as a comedian, then you're probably content with not performing stand up every night, which, you know, if that's what works for you. I will say the best comedians of Boston that are also based in Boston, at my level, you know, I'm not talking about Bill Burr, they are content and satisfied, and they're able to work with not being able to perform every night, and they are still able to hone their craft. And I'm able to do that too, but the thing is, it's like I also like to go to open mics just to have fun, like just to perform. Keyword perform. I don't like to be cucked at open mics, or even shows for that matter. I struggle with going to shows that I don't get booked on. I don't know why I see like a glare that is bothering me. Let me try to wipe this a little bit. I think that's better. Terminator says, when I have money, I'd like to buy membership. I don't think I have. Is what me? Oh, is there a picture behind me? Confused. Wait, what are we talking about, Laurel Coble? Southie above Quincy. Next to Southie. Okay, South Boston. Downtown's be dead. It's been for years. NYC makes Boston. Yeah, so basically, that's the thing, Dan. I thought, I mean, I knew NYC is a little bit more prolific than Boston, but it turns out when I was living in Boston for a couple months, I figured out that NYC is way, way, way more prolific. I mean, I don't know. That was probably ignorant of me to hope or assume that the two would be comparable. But I think what was a little bit too egregious for me is that my hometown is Greater DC, Greater Washington DC, in Maryland, and I mean, at the time, I was able to do more open mics in a week in the Greater Washington D.C. area than Boston. Now, granted, I have access to a car in my hometown in Maryland. I didn't have a car yet in Boston, but then the big question was it worth like staying there? So, can I make a funny face? Says Terminator. I think I went past Terminator's prior reply. Terminator dared me to put the camera on the table and run as a comedian and funnily. I think I'm good, Terminator. um, all right. Someone ban. I'll do this. I'm not a fan of the username there. So, Bill Burr podcast. He moved to New York for his early career. He loved a place called Alphabet City. Yeah, I mean, NYC is the place to be. I actually lived in NYC, and my move wasn't because of comedy. It was because my best friend from high school happened to move to NYC and also happened to have an empty room. So I moved in, had my own room, which was nice. Uh, I mean, I knew that as a comedian, I wanted to like check out NYC and like perform there on occasion. I gotta fix this comb over, y'all. uh, but like, I guess my move wasn't triggered by like a deep dive in comedy. My deep dive in comedy in NYC was a result of the stars lining themselves up and my best friend from high school happening to move there. So I spent a year and a half in NYC. I miss it very dearly. I wish I could move back. Um, I moved out of NYC to Hawaii because I got sick of the cold and sick of the grind, if you will. Not just the comedy grind, but just like the life grind. And I thought moving to Hawaii would solve my problems. I did learn a lot of life lessons in my relative solitude in Hawaii. I met the comedians there. I performed a lot of shows there. I had a very good time there in retrospect. And at the time, I thought I was going to stumble upon a different art form or a different, I don't know, discipline, a different hobby, if you will. I don't like the word hobby, but um, that can help get the idea across. Um, but then I moved back home to Maryland, which is where I met my now wife. I visited home while living in Hawaii. Visited home in Maryland one summer, because it's like, all right, the weather's lit there too. Let's visit during the summer. There is now here, and this entire time I was doing comedy. Hawaii is crazy expensive. It is. My apartment was very small. I had no kitchen. I had a cheap apartment, but it was like I was living in a closet. I had no kitchen, no stove, just a microwave. So I had to use a hot plate that I bought. Um, Terminator wanted a funny face. Here we go. Ready? There's that one. And then here's another funny face for Terminator. Okay, cool. We got that done. Lulu's never been out of Texas. Oh, wow. No way. So if you've never been out of Texas, does that mean you've never been out of the US? It does mean that. Wow. Never been out of Texas. Okay. Have you been out of what's like the furthest you've been out of your home? Like what's the furthest you've been out of Houston? Have you been to Austin and or Dallas? Have you been to the other cities? How far is San Antonio from places? Very curious. What's up, Stevie? How's it going? Peace out, Terminator. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. Lulu has never left Texas. Huh. That's wild. I'm trying to think if I've ever met someone that's never left their state. I've met people that have not left the country. That does not apply to me. But have I met someone that's never left the state? Lulu's been stuck in Houston. Dan Breen says, all my exes live in Texas. I first heard that phrase from a Drake song. I highly doubt Drake invented that phrase. That phrase sounds way too catchy and good for Drake to have been the inventor of it. So hold up. So Lulu's never. So you've been stuck in Houston? No way. Come on now. What's the longest road trip you've ever taken? Hold on. I mean, I don't know how far the other big cities are, like Dallas and Austin, San Antonio. Like I have my geography is whack. I don't know geography. But like, come on, you haven't left Houston? No way. Come on now. You're gonna take me out of the state? That question better be directed to Dan Breen. Unless you're trying to like manage and finance my comedy tour, then we got a business plan. Then we got a little entertainment industry plan. Entertainment industry. I don't know what y'all are thinking. Entertainment industry, as in like talent agent. Who's gonna be my talent agent? I think you have to be a licensed talent agents and talent managers. One of those requires a license. Maybe that could be one of y'all, and you should like manage my comedy career. I love taco raining from the sky is me, Mr. Jack. Welcome. GTA San Andreas, which is I think that's in Southern California. Mike Shinoda, the founder of Linkin Park, mentions San Andreas in his Fort Minor album thing. So Lulu has not left Houston. Okay. Do you drive, like, or is it someone else that drives and you're the passenger? Mr. Jack is here. There's people out there who've never seen the ocean in the Midwest, says Dan. I gotta meet one of these people and just like understand. I believe it. I believe it, by the way. I do believe it. I don't doubt that. But it's just, now that I'm thinking about that, such people. Ooh. Well, I'll tell you this. I have limitations on my travel experience. I've never been to Europe. I've never been to Africa. So there are multiple continents that I have not been to. There are definitely friends of mine, more so acquaintances of mine, that would be a little bit disappointed to hear that, especially Europe. Like, apparently everyone goes to Europe. I just haven't been yet. I have not been to Europe yet. No way. Lulu says she's got no license. That's nuts. Okay, are we talking driver's license or we're talking about like the entertainment industry manager license? For a second, I thought you don't have a driver's license. And speaking of which, Lulu, Laurel Coble, her rapper name is Lulu. is the managing moderator in the stream at the moment. So y'all better put some respect on that name. Dan Boone says it's like the Charlie Kelly character, and It's Always Sunny. Okay, I gotta watch more of the show. I've watched clips. I'm afraid I don't remember the characters by name. Alan King says, Dan, it's crazy in maritime and people from Alberta or Sask come here. I've got to visit Canada. I haven't been to Canada yet. I should. I've performed stand-up comedy overseas in Hawaii, but I technically have not yet performed stand-up comedy physically outside the U.S. So that is pending. That is pending, y'all. That is pending. That is coming up later. Who else do we have here? Canadian comedy, Trailer Park Boys. I gotta check that out. You don't have a driver's license, Laurel Coble? What? Is that normal? Who is Bubbles? YouTube hid. YouTube held it for review. My favorite stand-up comedian is so when I answer that question, I want to put some context behind it. It's someone that I think was most impactful to my life, not just comedy career, but life. And that is Russell Peters. Russell Peters is my favorite. The reason is Russell Peters was the only North American Indian icon in any context, not just comedy, but he was the only guy that, as an Indian kid, that I could look up to or refer to as sort of someone that's cool. Yo, I got some pizza here. I gotta get the door, so be right back in seconds. Hey. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. What's up, y'all? Russell Peters is top class. Yeah, I feel like the YouTube viewer counter is a little off. Lulu taught herself how to drive. Yo, that's lit. And honestly, I respect that. As Lulu is 100% indigenous Native American, y'all. So that's how you clap back at the system. You feel me? I gotta open this package. I'm still here. I am still here. I am still here. I'm just trying to focus on this package real quick. So forgive me. Okay. This is Okay. Just making sure the thing I got is in good condition. I'm still here. Still here. All right. Russell Peters Stoner movie is hilarious. I gotta watch that thing. Do you know how I can watch it? I gotta watch that. Dan Breen. Is that a name of a movie? Surname ass? Alan King. Alan King seems to have questions for Lulu. Yo, Lulu is the managing moderator. You better put some respect on that name. I got to tear up this cardboard box. Tearing up this cardboard box. That's what I'm doing. It's been raining a lot lately. particularly when items arrive. It's been raining a lot. Yes, it has. It has been raining a lot. All right. I love taco raining. My bad. Oh, but you were first saying Mr. Jack was ignoring you, Taco. Or are you Mr. Jack? I'm so confused. Okay. I was putting something in the recycling just now, FYI. I'm about to eat some pizza. Should I eat the pizza while on live? I don't know if I want to do that. You are Mr. Jack. Okay, hello, Mr. Jack. Welcome, Mr. Jack. Oh, thank you, Dan Breen. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think I'll peace out. Thank you all for tuning in. Please check out my YouTube shorts. I have plenty of YouTube shorts to keep you entertained while I eat some pizza. Maybe I'll see if Russell Peters' movies is available. I will probably live stream later today, later tonight. Peace out. Check out my YouTube shorts. Comment on my YouTube shorts, please.